Off we go to our real estate segment of the day. So we are here in San Mateo with Alex Lehr of Alex Lehr Real Estate. How are you, sir?
I am doing great.
Nice to see you.
Good to see you too.
Great, and I love it because today we're going to talk a little bit about probate, and what you do when you find yourself in this situation. In this day of age, right, a lot of us, our parents are getting older or our grandparents are getting much older, and we find ourselves in situations of probate. So what is probate exactly, and how do you even begin to deal with it when you have a home in this situation?
Okay, well, probate for the most part, what it comes down to is if, let's say, the difference between a trust and a probate.
Okay.
If somebody has a living trust, well, they've pretty much set up all the guidelines that they want, and it doesn't have to go through the court process for a trust. In a probate, let's say they have a will. And it tells what they want done with their personal effects, or, you know, a house for this matter. Then at that point, they have to have the court's blessing on every step of that. So the probate actually goes to court, where a trust may or may not, depending upon the exact requirements in the trust.
Now, should the property be fixed up or not fixed up when you're trying to sell it?
That actually is the question. And it really depends on the property itself, because some properties, if they're in a case where they need a little lipstick and makeup, let's say paint, carpets, some flooring, or maybe even some appliances.
Okay.
In a case like that, you may say, you know what, for the money that we put into it, we actually allow more buyers the opportunity to buy it, because an end user now might be able to purchase it because they can get it financed, versus if it's in a rough state, lots of times cash-only buyers can purchase it. So you limit your buyers. Thus, they're typically bargain hunters, and you may get less for the property. But again, depending upon the property, where it is, and what the usage is for that property, we always help people make a game time decision. A series of clients that had family members pass, and after a while they were lost. They were saying, look, I've got this grief, I've got this issue. Now I've just been handed a full-time job to take apart somebody's life. Oh my God. So now suddenly they're saying, where do we go? What are the resources? Can you help us? So by default, I started helping them, and then realized that they weren't alone. There was a lot of people that really needed this. That's how we came to help.
How do you make the decisions as to what you're going to leave in, or do you get rid of all of it?
And that ultimately partially is in the will. Go ahead and leave these pieces till after the property's sold, because we may utilize them in some of the staging. 90% of the buyers right now are finding homes online first. So our objective is to make the house not just a house, but make it a home. So when they see those photos, they actually want to get off their couch and come out and see it.
That's fabulous.
Versus just being kind of sterile.
Yeah.
It looks nice, but it's sterile. We want to actually draw them to the home. So we use a little bit if there's good effects at the house or good furnishings. If not, we bring in, many times we'll bring in staging as a separate item.
Well, it's great we have you guys to go to. And, you know, also, so look, we're in San Mateo at one of your probate properties.
Correct.
And we're going to get a chance to look inside and see some of the stuff that you guys have done to the property.
Yep.
Right? And then we're going to actually come back and see the progress.
Yes.
The end-all result of what it looks like when you put it on the market. But first, let's go inside and check it out. So now we're inside 1013 Sunnybrae. Yep. And it is empty.
It is.
And I know it's getting ready for you guys to actually do that next stage of staging it, which is what's great, to see it in this state before we see the after of how beautiful it's going to be. So now we are back, Alex, and we get to see the house after you guys have staged it. It's remarkable. I mean, it's pretty cool that you can take such a blank canvas and then put some furniture in there, and now it feels like someone's living here.
Well, like we talked about before, when a house is empty, it's just a house. And part of what we like to do is turn it into a home, especially for the photographer once they actually shoot it for the virtual tour or just anything that's going to be on the internet. Again, we got to get people excited that want to come see it.
Yeah.
So they can actually visualize, even spatially. They're like, wow, my table might be about that size. I bet it'll fit. Let's go look.
So Denise, when you're staging a house, what is your motivation?
Well, it's for people to walk in the home and feel welcomed and have the home be inviting to them. So ultimately they want to purchase the home and they feel they can move their family or themselves right in.
If you guys want to see this home and see a little bit more of it, you can jet over to our website and we'll have more information from Mr. Alex Lehr and his wife Denise Lehr on our site at dayswithzara.com. And we'll be right back.